Stop starting over. Every big dream dies not from failure, but from the slow, sloppy habit of quitting and waiting for a fresh start. Talent won't save you. Motivation won't save you. One small, brutal truth will. Daily discipline. The tiny actions you refuse to miss, day after day, compounds into results that look like miracles. This book is a manual. How to build ruthlessly small routines, protect them from chaos, and become the person who never has to begin again. Do it daily. Do it now. Chapter 1. Stop proving, start showing up. Show up every day. That is the line between the life you want and the life you keep restarting. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck. Showing up every day. You have a choice. You can keep trying to prove yourself, or you can quietly build something real. Proving is loud. Proving is emotional. Proving is exhausting. Showing up is boring. Showing up is simple. Showing up works. That's the key. Most people are addicted to proving. They want the dramatic comeback, the perfect restart, the big announcement. They want visible effort, instant validation, and fast results. They want to feel like they're moving forward. But feeling productive is not the same as being disciplined. It's not about excitement, it's about execution. It's not about motivation, it's about discipline. Look at athletes. The elite ones don't train when they feel inspired. They train by schedule. Same time, same drills, same boring fundamentals. Rain or shine, tired or energized. That's why they win. The weekend warrior waits for the right mood, trains hard once in a while, skips often, gets injured, quits, starts over. You've seen this pattern. You've lived it. Show up every day. You don't need their permission to start. You don't need applause. You don't need a perfect plan. You have a choice. Make it daily. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Proving feels productive because it's emotional. Showing up feels slow because it's mechanical. Proving is about identity theater. Showing up is about identity construction. One builds ego. The other builds results. That's the key. It's not about talent, it's about discipline. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not about heroic effort, it's about repeatable action. Small beats heroic. This is where most people mess it up. They aim too big, they overcommit, they design habits that require perfect days. Then life happens. They miss one day, then they miss two. Shame kicks in. The streak is broken, so they quit again and again and again. You have a choice. Build habits that survive real life or keep restarting fantasies. The solution is simple, but not easy. You build non-negotiables, 5 to 15 minutes. That's it, no more. These are not optional. They are not flexible. They are not mood-based. They are identity-based. Writers who succeed don't wait for inspiration. They write 300 words a day, not 10,000 once a week, 300 every day. Over time, they outrank binge writers. They publish more. They improve faster. They win quietly. Small beats heroic. Musicians practice scales for 10 minutes a day. Designers sketch one concept daily. Entrepreneurs make one sales call daily. Athletes do one mobility routine daily. It doesn't look impressive. It is impressive because it compounds. Show up every day. Now let's talk resistance. Resistance is not laziness. Resistance is fear wearing a mask. Fear of starting badly. Fear of being seen. Fear of discovering you're not as good as you hoped. So you over-prepare, you research endlessly, you plan, you tweak, you wait for the mood. This is the proof habit. The proof habit says, once I feel ready, I'll begin. Discipline says, begin and readiness will follow. That's the key. You don't need their permission to start messy. You don't need validation to begin small. You have a choice. Start now or keep rehearsing a future that never arrives. This is where the 2-minute rule saves you. When resistance shows up, shrink the action until it's impossible to refuse. Open the document, write 1 sentence, put on your shoes, do 1 push-up. Set the timer for 2 minutes. That's it. Start small. Start now. Most days, 2 minutes becomes 10. 10 becomes 20. But even when it doesn't, the win still counts because the identity stays intact. You showed up every day. Identity is built through evidence, tiny evidence, repeated evidence. Every check mark on the habit tracker is a vote for the person you're becoming. Miss too many votes and the identity collapses. That's why streaks matter, not because they're magical, but because they're honest. Track the habit. Use a calendar. Use a notebook. Use your phone. Don't trust your memory. Memory lies. Data doesn't. That's the key. Remove friction aggressively. Lay out tools the night before. Decide the time once and keep it fixed. Same time, same place, same trigger. Decision-making drains discipline. Automation protects it. If life gets chaotic, you do not quit. You scale down. 5 minutes instead of 15. 1 sentence instead of 1 page. 1 lap instead of 5. Trim, don't quit. Never cancel the habit, ever. You have a choice. Preserve the streak or preserve your excuses. This is not about being extreme. This is about being reliable. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards consistency. It rewards people who can be counted on by others and by themselves. Repeat this until it sinks in. It's not about motivation. It's about discipline. It's not about proving. It's about showing up. It's not about intensity. It's about repetition. Show up every day. Here's your execution checklist. Do not skip this. 1. Choose 1 5 to 15-minute daily action tied to your biggest goal. 2. Lock it to a specific time. 3. Prepare the tools in advance. 4. Use the 2-minute rule when resistance hits. 5. Track the streak. 6. Scale down when life hits. Never quit. That's it. No complexity, no drama. You don't need their permission to be disciplined. You don't need to announce it. You don't need a perfect plan. You have a choice. Just show up every day. This chapter is the foundation. Without this, nothing works. With this, everything compounds. You've stopped proving. You've learned how to show up. Now it's time to understand why tiny actions explode into massive results over time. You've mastered consistency. Now let's talk about compounding. Chapter 2. The 1% Rule. Compounding is cruelly simple. Progress is not a straight line. Progress is exponential. Tiny edges, repeated, become massive. One tiny choice today, another tiny choice tomorrow. 1% every day. You have a choice. You can chase dramatic bursts, or you can master daily increments. That's the key. Hear this like a warning. Big, infrequent effort looks exciting. It also looks like burnout. The weekend binge, the 2-week boot camp, the loud promise that fades, that is proving. The quiet daily edge is showing up, 1% every day. Start with the truth. Small improvements compound. Compound interest doesn't wait for mood. A single percentage point per day seems meaningless at first. Over time, it becomes unstoppable. 1% becomes 2. 2 becomes 10. 10 becomes a different life. You don't need their permission. You don't need permission to get 1% better today. You don't need their applause to run the same drill tomorrow. You have a choice. Use it. This chapter is practical, not inspirational fluff. You will get rules. You will get a plan. You will get a measurement system. That's the key. Rule 1. Pick one measurable micro skill. Not 5, not a vague goal. One micro skill. Example, a photographer picks one frame a day. A marketer picks one ad variation a day. A writer picks 300 words a day. A runner picks one interval. One micro skill equals one data point per day. Rule 2. Measure it for 90 days. 90 days is short enough to start, long enough to prove pattern. Use a simple metric that shows progress. Count frames, count words, count reps, count minutes of focused work. Measure the daily. Rule 3. Build a ledger. Data kills stories. Metrics remove excuses. Feelings are loud. Data is quiet. The ledger tells the truth. Put it on paper. Put it on a spreadsheet. Put it on a habit tracker. Track every day. Example, a photographer committed to one frame per day for 90 days. The early days were uneven. Some frames were awful. Most frames were learning. By day 30, composition improved. By day 60, clients noticed. By day 90, the portfolio was real. 1% every day. Another example, an entrepreneur tracked one revenue unit per day, not hypothetical revenue, actual conversions. Daily data forced decisions. Marketing improved. Offers sharpened. The ledger removed the excuses. Data kills stories. You have a choice. You can rely on feelings or you can rely on evidence. That's the key. How to choose the microskill. Ask, what single measurable action will move the needle most in the next 90 days? If you want better writing, measure words written per day. If you want better product design, measure concepts sketched per day. If you want better health, measure protein servings or minutes of movement. Keep it clean. Keep it countable. Set up the experiment. Do this now. Choose your microskill, one only. Define the metric. Be specific. Words per day, frames per day, reps per day, minutes of focus. Commit to 90 days. Mark today as day 1. Track daily. No judgment, no storytelling, only data. Review weekly. Adjust. Repeat. When resistance hits, shrink the action. The 2-minute rule still works here. 2 minutes of perfect work is better than 0 minutes of planning. Start small. Start now. 1% every day. Expect boredom. Expect slow weeks. Expect plateaus. That doesn't mean failure. It means a process. Plateaus hide growth. They are the quiet zone where skills knit themselves together. Keep measuring. Keep showing up. You have a choice. Choose the process. That's the key. It's not about intelligence, it's about repetition. It's not about genius, it's about consistency. It's not about perfect output, it's about daily input. Design feedback loops. Without feedback, compounding is blind. The ledger is your feedback. Weekly reviews are your check-ins. Ask 3 questions each week. What moved the metric this week? What blocked progress? What one tweak will improve next week? Make small surgical changes. The wrong move is wholesale overhaul. The right move is micro adjustment. Small experiments beat big bets. Measure the daily, then change one variable. Track again. Repeat. Use comparison carefully. Comparison is a weapon and a tool. Don't compare yourself to someone 10 years ahead. Compare yourself to yesterday. 1% every day. A competitor's highlight reel is not your data. Keep the social element. Public commitments increase follow-through. Tell one person. Post a short update. Share a daily counter. Accountability converts private action into social pressure. Use it to protect the habit. Beware of the perfection trap. Perfection hides under the guise of doing it right. That's a proof habit. It asks for a perfect start. It wants permission. You don't need their permission. Start messy. Improve methodically. Real transformation requires time and patience. Compounding rewards the patient. The impatient desire immediate proof. That is proving. Proving seeks quick validation. Compounding builds unshowy strength. 1% every day. This method scales. Use it in fitness. Use it in craft. Use it in business. Use it in relationships. The concept is the same. Daily measurable input. The result is growth that is real and durable. Final steps to execute. Today, choose the micro skill. Today, define the metric. Today, start the ledger. Today, make a one-line public commitment. For 90 days, measure the daily and review weekly. Repeat the mantra. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. It's not about excuses. It's about discipline. 1% every day. You have begun the work of compounding. You have chosen evidence over emotion. You have chosen discipline over drama. That's the key. You mastered the art of tiny wins. Now we remove the need to decide every day. Let's strip unnecessary choices and make success automatic.
Chapter 3. Remove decisions. Make success automatic. Decisions cost energy. Every choice chips away at willpower. Discipline does not live in decision-making. It lives where decisions end. Decide once, repeat forever. You have a choice. You can fight fatigue of choice, or you can design your life so the right choices are automatic. That's the key. Listen up. Willpower is finite. Willpower is taxed by trivialities. The more little choices you make, the fewer strong choices you have left. The CEO who standardizes a morning routine frees mental bandwidth for hard strategy. The chaotic manager wakes up and spends the first hour deciding what to wear, what to prioritize, what to answer. One is calm, the other is reactive. Decide once, repeat forever. This is not theory, it is practice. Set it up, don't think. That phrase is the backbone of habit engineering. Set your environment so the next right action is obvious. Remove ambiguity, remove options, remove the polite invitation to delay. Start with mornings. Create a decision blackout window. The first hour is sacred. No email, no news, no argument. Use that hour for the one action that matters most. Write, move, plan, ship. Decide once what your first hour does. Repeat forever. How to build it. Rule 1. Pick 3 non-negotiables for the morning. Not 10, 3. Example, hydrate. Quick plan. One focused task for 25 minutes. Rule 2. Prepare the night before. Lay out clothes. Pack the bag. Put the notebook by the bed. Set the kettle. Rule 3. When the alarm sounds, follow the script. No negotiation, no maybe later. Set it up, don't think. You have a choice. Either let the world decide your morning or own it. That's the key. Extend this beyond mornings. Create decision blackout windows across the day. The first hour of work is sacred. The last hour is for closure. 2 blocks for deep work. 1 block for shallow tasks. Block the calendar. Don't get distracted by the tyranny of the urgent. Decide once, repeat forever. Make your environment do the work. Designers kit their workspace a night before. Tools ready, files organized, headphones charged. The fight is not in the morning, the fight is in the preparation. The night before setup removes friction at the moment of action. Set it up, don't think. Friction is a lever. Use it like a machine.
Add friction to bad choices, remove friction for good ones. Friction for bad, flow for good. Practical moves. Put your phone in another room during focus blocks. Friction for bad, flow for good. Keep workout clothes visible by the door. Friction for bad, flow for good. Use app locks or website blockers during decision blackout windows. Friction for bad, flow for good. Preload your work playlist and a timer. Set it and go. Friction for bad, flow for good. You have a choice. You do not need to will yourself through temptation if you design to avoid it. You don't need their permission to protect your attention. That's the key. Pre-commitment is a superpower. Make decisions before you are tired. Say yes or no in advance. Book a class and pay for it. Put money on the line. Tell a friend you will deliver. The cost of backing out becomes real. Pre-commitment removes daily drama. Decide once, repeat forever. Use default rules. Defaults save energy. Choose a default dinner. Choose a default workout. Choose a default start time for work. The default eliminates debate. It removes the parade of small decisions that kill discipline. Set defaults and honor them. Set it up, don't think. Design for failure. You will be tired. You will be busy. Systems must be shock-proof. Create a scaled protocol. Full mode, maintenance mode, survival mode. Decide in advance what you will do in each. Full mode, full routine. Maintenance, half the routine. Survival, the absolute minimum. Pre-decide the survival minimum now. When life hits, perform the survival minimum. Do not cancel. Decide once, repeat forever. The cost of not designing is invisibly high. You will trade your future for tiny conveniences. You will trade competence for comfort. The person who preserves systems wins quietly. The person who relies on grit alone burns out. It's not about heroic determination. It's about system design. It's not about flaw. It's about discipline. Here's a simple blueprint to implement today. Identify 3 routines you will automate: morning, work start, wind down. For each routine, write the exact series of steps as if you were scripting a robot. No decisions, no options. Prepare the tools the night before. Lay them by the door. Charge them. Open the file you will work on. Set one rule of pre-commitment for each routine. Example, phone in the other room until 9 a.m. Add friction to one bad habit and remove friction for one good habit. Example, move snacks out of reach. Place water bottle within arm's reach. Test for 1 week. Track adherence. Tweak the script. Repeat forever. Repetition creates identity. A scripted life breeds predictability. Predictability breeds results. You have a choice. You can script your life or be scripted by circumstances. That's the key. Expect small resistance. People will call you rigid. They will test the edges. That is normal. Defend the system. It is your job. You don't need their permission to protect your work. Protect the blackout windows. Protect the scripts. Protect the defaults. Measure the wins. Use a simple tracker. Each time you execute the routine, mark it. Small wins compound. They create proof. They transform intention into identity. The ledger will show your work. Data silences doubt. Data kills stories. Remember the mantras. Repeat them until they are reflexive. Decide once, repeat forever. Set it up, don't think. Friction for bad, flow for good. Say them when you are tempted to negotiate. Say them when excuses show up. You have a choice. This chapter is about engineering your life to remove the grind of choice. Build the guardrails, build the defaults, remove the decisions that steal your will. That is the architecture of discipline. You have reduced decision fatigue. You have created automation for success. You have learned the mechanics. Now, let's eliminate dependence on motivation itself. Chapter 4. The Anti-Motivation Protocol. Motivation is a spark, not a furnace. It lights things. It does not sustain them. Relying on mood is gambling. Systems win games. Systems over sparks. You have a choice. You can wait for feeling, or you can build structures that run without it. That's the key. Listen, inspiration will come sometimes. Most days it will not. The person who waits will get nothing done most days. The person with systems moves forward every day. That is the difference between trying and becoming. Systems over sparks. This chapter is practical, no pep talk, no 7-step promise. Real work, real rules, real protocols to remove mood from the equation. You will learn the rituals, the anchors, and the tiny first steps that convert resistance into motion. Open, do one. That is the protocol. Small, consistent, unavoidable. You don't need their permission to begin messy. Messy is progress. Messy is data. Messy produces feedback. Perfection waits for permission. Perfection is the proof habit in disguise. It asks for conditions that never arrive. You have a choice. Start messy. Start now. That's the key. Second truth. Build a chain of tiny acts. One action triggers the next. The first step is tiny. The second step is slightly larger. The third step is the work you actually want. This chain neutralizes resistance. It makes momentum automatic. Open, do one. Then do another. Then keep going. Here's a rigid example you can copy. Ritual for writing. At 6 a.m., make tea. Sit at the desk. Open a fresh document. Write one sentence. Set the timer for 25 minutes and continue. You do the tiny invite. The system does the rest. Third truth. Anchor your action to an accountability mechanism. Systems fail when isolated. A human observer makes excuses costlier. Tell one person your plan. Text them when you finish. Use a public tracker. Use a paid class. Pre-commit publicly. The anchor converts private ritual into social force. You have a choice. Use other people. That's the key. Fourth truth. Reframe resistance. Resistance is not an enemy. Resistance is information. It signals that what you are trying to do matters. Resistance points at the growth edge. Resistance is evidence. Resistance signals value. Do not bow to it. Learn from it. When soreness shows up, that means your muscles changed. When boredom shows up, that means you are repeating for mastery. When fear shows up, that means you are near the boundary of identity. Resistance signals value. Use it as a map. Rules to follow when resistance appears. Shrink the action. 2 minutes, not 2 hours. 2 minutes today preserves identity. 2 minutes tomorrow becomes 10. Start small. Start now. Count the friction points. What is making this hard? Remove one. Clear one obstacle. Set the shoes by the door. Charge the laptop. Set the dock template. Set it up. Don't think. Anchor the output. Share one line, one photo, one sentence publicly. Putting a single artifact into the world breaks the loop of avoidance. You have a choice. You can argue with resistance, or you can redirect it. That's the key. Fifth truth. Create standard operating procedures for your life. Companies survive without founders because of SOPs. People survive without moods because of procedures. Document the start sequence for every major habit. Treat the first 5 minutes like an assembly line. The first 5 minutes must be non-negotiable. The SOP eliminates decision fatigue. Systems over sparks. SOP checklist.
What time does the ritual start? Exact minute. What is the first small action? One sentence, one step, one push. Where will it happen? The location must be prepared. What tool is prepped? Open that app. Place that pen. Who holds you accountable? One witness, one tiny penalty for failure. Write it down, follow it, update it. Sixth truth. Design for bad days. The anti-motivation protocol must have survival mode. Survival mode is not failure, it is triage. Define your survival minimum now. 3 breaths, 1 sentence, 1 step outside. When survival mode is all you can do it. Preserve the streak. Trim, don't quit. The survival rule protects identity. Identity is built on evidence. Even a micro-action preserves proof that I do this. That proof accumulates. That proof becomes who you are. You have a choice. Reset the start. That's the key. Seventh truth. Ritualize the start. Ritualize the finish. A clean ending closes the loop. Finish with a tiny ritual, a short log entry, a checkmark, a breath. The finish ritual turns messy effort into a tracked win. Data kills stories. Track the start and the finish daily. A quick template you can implement today. Choose one habit to systematize. 1. Define the 60-second start ritual. Concrete steps, no options. Define the survival minimum. Write it down. Attach one accountability anchor. Text, post, or partner. Log the start and finish daily. Data kills stories. Repeat these phrases until they are automatic. You have a choice. You don't need their permission. Systems over sparks. Open, do one. Resistance signals value. Say them when you stall. Say them when you excuse. Say them when you plan to quit. This is not about removing emotion. It is about organizing it. Emotion will show up. Use it. Let systems carry you when emotion fails. Systems preserve dignity. Systems preserve progress. Systems create the conditions where discipline is the default. You have built machinery for action. You have learned how to convert resistance into motion. You have removed mood from the equation. Now, let's take that machinery and place it inside a day designed for wins. You learned to beat motivation. Now, let's build the day that supports those victories. Chapter 5. The Habit Architect. Design the day. You are the architect of your day, not your inbox, not your boss, not the news cycle. You design the day. Don't drift. You have a choice. You can react all day, or you can structure the day so the important work gets done. That's the key. Structure beats willpower. Willpower is temporary. Structure is permanent. Surgeons use checklists. Pilots use flows. The checklist prevents chaos. Your calendar can do the same. Decide what your day will protect, then protect it fiercely. Start with the 3 pillars. Keep them simple. Focus block, maintenance block, recovery block. Pillars, not pills. Focus block is your work engine. This is the time you do the deep, high-leverage stuff. No notifications, no meetings, no compromises. Pick one focus goal per block. 1, not a list of wishes, 1 measurable outcome. Your job is to produce that outcome. Schedule it in your calendar like a non-negotiable meeting with the future. Maintenance block is the upkeep. Email, admin, calls, errands. These tasks matter, but they do not create value if they interrupt deep work. Batch them, time box them. Treat them as a service window, not a default state. Discipline says handle maintenance quickly, then return to focus. That's the key. Recovery block is the secret weapon. High performance needs rest. Coffee is not recovery. Screens are not recovery. True recovery is movement,
food that fuels focus, and deliberate downtime. Protect this block. No work, real recharge. Sleep hygiene wins more than extra hours of grind. Pillars, not pills. You have a choice. You can let the day fragment into micro-decisions, or you can design the day to eliminate them. That's the key. Blueprint for the day. Follow this exact sequence for a week and judge the result. Plan the night before. Pick tomorrow's single focus outcome. Write it down. Lay out the tools. Set the start time. Decide once, repeat forever. Morning focus block. 60 to 120 minutes of uninterrupted work. No phone, no email. One measurable output. Track it. Maintenance window. 45 to 90 minutes for shallow tasks. Batch similar items. Use a timer. Close the window. Second focus block. Another 60 minutes for project work. Defend it. Recovery block. 30 to 60 minutes. Move. Eat. Breathe. Step away. No decisions. Pre-schedule it. Wind down routine. Review the day. Plan tomorrow. Tweak one thing. You don't need their permission to protect these blocks. You have a choice. Block the time publicly. Put it on your shared calendar. Mark it as focus, do not disturb. Most people will respect a clear boundary. If they don't, that's data. Address it. That's the key. Guardrails matter. Add rules to protect the pillars. No meeting zone. Define hours where meetings are forbidden. Email embargo. Check email twice a day, not 10 times. Single task rule. Work on one thing until it's done or the timer ends. Reset trigger. If interrupted, use a 5-minute reset ritual to regain flow. Set the physical environment to match the pillar. Work where you do your deep work. Have a distinct place for maintenance. Create a restful spot for recovery. Environment cues focus. Set it up. Don't think. Iteration wins. Review weekly. Tweak monthly. Discipline is engineering, not punishment. Tweak, repeat, improve. Each Sunday, run a fast retrospective. 3 questions only. What worked this week? Capture wins. What didn't? Capture blockers. What one change will make next week better? Implement it. Small experiments beat big overhauls. Don't redesign the entire life. Change one variable, one tweak, 1 week. Measure. Keep what works, drop what doesn't. You have a choice. You can iterate or you can complain. That's the key. Real examples, no fluff. Coders use 90-minute sprints for deep work. Then they schedule email windows at noon and 4. The code quality improves. Bugs drop. Creativity returns. Surgeons use checklists to avoid catastrophe. Designers kit their workspace the night before to make the first creative minute count. These are not secrets. They are disciplined designs. Behavioral rules. Do these now. Open your calendar. Block 3 pillars for tomorrow. Times are fixed. Write tomorrow's single focus outcome. Make it measurable. 1 line. Prepare 1 tool tonight. File open. Software ready. Notes on the desk. Set it up. Don't think. Set 1 meeting rule. No meetings during the first focus block. Publicize it. Schedule recovery. Put it on the calendar and treat it like a meeting with yourself. You will resist. People confuse busyness with progress. Busyness fills time. Structure produces value. It's not about being busy. It's about being deliberate. It's not about chaos. It's about design. It's not about noise. It's about execution. It's not about flaw. It's about discipline. You have a choice. You can drift and watch your days vanish, or you can design the day and force progress. That's the key.
Protect the pillars like they are solar panels charging your future. Miss them and you dim your output. Guard them and you multiply your results. Repeat the mantras until they are reflexive. Design the day. Don't drift. Pillars, not pills. Tweak, repeat, improve. Say them when you're tempted to negotiate with your schedule. This chapter is architecture. Build it now. Test it tomorrow. Measure the difference in 7 days. The compounding begins when your daily design becomes routine. The ledger will show it. Data kills stories. You have learned how to structure the day. You have built pillars. You have set rules. Now seize the single most powerful hour of the day. You mastered the day's architecture. Now let's win the morning that sets the whole tone.
Chapter 6. Win the morning, own the day. Win the morning, own the day. The first 60 minutes determine the next 12. That is not hyperbole, it is fact. The early hour is a multiplier. It shapes decisions. It sets momentum. Win the morning. You have a choice. You can hand the first hour to the noise, or you can own it. That's the key. Most people surrender the morning to other people's priorities. They check messages. They doom scroll headlines. They let the world decide their energy. That is reactive living. That is proving. You don't need their permission to protect your morning. You have a choice. Here's the brutal truth. The morning is not about doing more. It's about doing the right thing first. First things first. A small, precise action in the first hour beats 10 chaotic hours of busy work. That is the multiplier. Start with a clear rule. The first hour is a non-negotiable. No email, no social, no news, no urgent drama. Protect the first hour. Make it sacred. Decide what one thing will move your life forward and do it before you allow other people to tax your attention. Rituals are the vehicle. Rituals remove choice. Rituals automate success. Hydration first. 10 minutes of planning next. Then a micro-task. One focused act that builds momentum. For creatives, that micro-task could be a single creative act. For business owners, it could be a single revenue-facing action. For learners, it could be a short study burst. First things first. Hydrate. The body runs better when you hydrate after sleep. It is a tiny win that signals discipline. Drink a glass of water before your phone. That small move interrupts the chain of automatic distraction. You have a choice. Choose the body. That's the key. 10-minute planning. Sit. Open a physical notebook. Write one headline. Today's only focus. Under it, list 3 critical next steps. Not 10, 3. Commit to one time block to complete the top step. This is not planning to avoid work. This is planning to win work. First things first. Microtask. Do one measurable action that produces evidence. One paragraph, one call, one deep set of focused work for 25 minutes. Set a timer. No multitasking, no meeting, no negotiation. The microtask creates momentum. Momentum becomes habit. Habit becomes identity. Win the morning. You don't need their permission to start small. You don't need approval to pick one thing. You have a choice. Start tiny. Start consistent. Start now. Failure modes are obvious. Endless planning becomes procrastination. News doom loops eat focus. Email rabbit holes steal the first hour, then the whole day. Professionals who win block notifications until noon. They protect the first hour. You must do the same. Create defensive moves. Put the phone in another room for the first hour. You traded convenience for clarity. That is discipline. Use a physical notebook for your 10-minute plan. Paper resists distraction better than a screen. Turn off notifications. Do not negotiate with an app. Schedule email windows, midday and late afternoon. The inbox is not a priority creator. You are. Accountability locks in the ritual. Tell one person what you will do in the first hour. Text them a one-line proof when you finish the microtask. Public accountability raises the cost of skipping. You have a choice. Use other people to protect your choice. That's the key. Design the environment the night before. Lay out the water glass. Put the notebook by the bed. Set the timer on your desk. Prepare the clothes if movement is part of your morning. The morning fight is often lost the night before. Set it up. Don't think. Keep the rituals short and repeatable. The power comes from repetition, not length. 5 minutes of deliberate action daily outperforms occasional hours of messy effort. That is the principle. First things first. When resistance arrives, use the 2-minute rule. If you resist the microtask, shrink it to 2 minutes. 2 minutes of intention is better than 0 minutes of planning. Do 2 minutes, then decide again. Most days you will continue. Most days 2 minutes becomes 10. You have a choice. Start with 2. That's the key. Track the wins. Use a simple habit tracker. Mark the days you own the first hour. The ledger is proof. The ledger kills excuses. Data removes stories. Data makes identity. Data shows progress. Data silences the noise. Data is your ally. Avoid complexity. Do not redesign your morning every week. Pick a sequence and execute it for 21 days. Test it. Tweak it only after you have real data. Iteration beats indecision. Tweak, repeat, improve. Remember the identity language. Say it aloud. I win the morning. Repeat it before bed. Repeat it at the alarm. Language shapes action. Say, you have a choice. Say, you don't need their permission. Say, it's not about inspiration, it's about discipline. Say, win the morning. Real example. An executive started blocking the first hour for strategic thinking. No meetings, no calls. 10 minutes of planning, one priority moved each morning. Within a month, decisions came faster. Stress dropped. Results improved. The small daily ritual multiplied into better weeks. That is the leverage of mornings. Practical checklist. Implement tonight. Decide your first hour script. Hydrate, 10-minute plan, 1 microtask. Prepare everything before bed. Water, notebook, timer. Set it up, don't think. Put your phone out of reach. Turn off morning notifications. Protect the first hour. Add 1 accountability step. Text or post a single mind proof when done. Schedule email windows, midday and late afternoon. The inbox is not a priority creator. You are. Track completion on a habit chart. Aim for a 21-day run. You have a choice every morning. Choose to be deliberate. Choose to be fierce. Choose to protect your hour. That's the key. Win the morning. Own the day. You mastered the morning. Now let's talk about keeping that commitment when life gets messy.
Chapter 7. Keeping the commitment when life hits. Real discipline is proven in storms, not in perfect weeks, not in smooth seasons. Discipline shows up when things break. Trim, don't quit. You have a choice. You can cancel everything when hit with chaos, or you can scale down and preserve what matters. That's the key. Listen, crisis will arrive. Illness, family emergency, travel, job shifts. These are not exceptions, they are life. The people who win do not rely on perfect conditions. They build shock-proof systems. They trim, not quit. This chapter is about the rules for survival.
It gives a framework you can use the moment life gets loud. It gives decisions you pre-make so you do not make them while exhausted. It gives a plan to preserve the one habit that keeps identity intact. Scale down, not out. Start with the 3 modes: full, maintenance, survival. Full mode is normal operation, your complete routine, the full stack of habits, rituals, and work blocks. This is where you do your deep work. This is where you create leverage. Maintenance mode is reduced. You keep the essentials, half the volume, fewer meetings, shorter blocks. The goal is still progress. The pace is slower. The mission continues. Survival mode is triage, the absolute minimum, 1 or 2 tiny actions that preserve identity and momentum. This is not success. It is survival with dignity. Preserve the one. You have a choice. Define these modes before the storm. Decide the survival minimum now. That's the key. How to design the modes. Use clear rules, no ambiguity, no negotiation. Define full mode. List all non-negotiables in full operation. Time, duration, and outputs for each. Exact start and finish times. Define maintenance mode. Which non-negotiables shrink and by how much? Which tasks pause entirely? Who you inform about the change. Publicize it if necessary. Define survival mode. Pick the single habit that preserves identity. 1. Specify the absolute minimum. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 sentence, 1 call. Pre-decide the threshold that triggers survival mode. You must name the trigger. The trigger is a metric or a signal. Examples: less than 4 hours of sleep, family emergency, travel day, illness. When the trigger occurs, you flip the switch. No debate, no drama. Decide once, repeat forever. You have a choice. Create hard thresholds. Put them on your calendar. Tell one person. Use a visible signal. That's the key. Why the preserve the one rule matters. Identity collapses without evidence. The single preserved habit is proof that you still show up. It prevents the spiral of quitting. It stops the story your mind wants to tell. I'm off. I'll start over later. Preserve the one, and the later start never becomes necessary. Real examples. Parents in crisis. They shorten workouts to 10-minute mobility routines. They swap 60-minute runs for a daily 5-minute breath and stretch. The routine preserves identity. They are still runners. They are still disciplined. They trim, not quit. Writers during travel switch from 1-hour sprints to 10-minute micro-sessions on a phone. The output drops, the practice remains. The writer keeps the habit. They scale down, not out. Now, a case study you can copy. An entrepreneur faced a family emergency. The week was chaos. Meetings piled up. Clients needed answers. The entrepreneur did 3 things. Delegated non-essential customer tasks to a trusted team member. Preserved one daily habit, a 10-minute customer check-in call at a fixed time. Publicized the survival mode to the team and clients with a simple message. Result? Customers felt seen. Business did not implode. The entrepreneur retained momentum. The 10-minute check-in preserved identity and trust. Preserve the one. You don't need their permission to shrink. You don't need approval to protect the minimum. You have a choice. Use it. Practical rules for switching modes. Print these and tape them to your workspace. Rule A. Pre-define triggers. Medical, sleep, travel, emergency, specifics only. Rule B. Pre-assign delegation. Who handles what when you scale down? Name names. Rule C. Preserve one habit. Decide which habit now. Make it tiny. Make it sacred. Rule D. Communicate fast. Tell stakeholders the mode and expected response times. Clarity reduces panic. Rule E. Track the days in maintenance or survival. Log them on the ledger. Delegation is not weakness, it is an engineering choice. Train one person to handle your core interruptions. Write simple SOPs. Give access. Remove decision friction for them. This is how businesses run while leaders are absent. This is how your life can run while you handle emergency.
Chapter 8. The Community Engine. Alignment, Motivation. People are mirrors. Habits rub off. The people closest to you shape what you do. Alignment builds momentum. You have a choice. You can surround yourself with spectators, or you can build a circle that forces progress. That's the key. Here's the ugly truth. Motivation is unreliable. Friends cheer once, then fade. Social media applauds, then scrolls away. Community done right lasts. It converts private effort into social force. It turns lonely discipline into collective habit. Make it public. This chapter is tactical, no fluff. You will get step-by-step systems to use people as rocket fuel. You will get scripts. You will get daily mechanics. You will learn how to build accountability loops that keep you honest. Show progress, get pushback. Start with the simple rule. Pick one person and one platform. One person who sees you daily. One place where your proof lives. It could be a friend, a coach, a teammate. It could be a group chat, a public calendar, or a habit tracker with sharing. The combination creates pressure and permission. You have a choice. Use it. Why it works. Humans follow norms. If your circle values daily practice, you will practice. If your circle tolerates excuses, you will excuse. Choose the environment that matches your ambition. Alignment builds momentum. Tactic 1. Accountability loops. Design the loop first. Here are the elements. Commitment. A clear promise you make publicly. One sentence. Example, I will write 500 words every weekday. Proof. A daily artifact you post. One item. Screenshot, line of text, photo. Witness. One person or group that checks the post. A reply is required. Consequence. A micro penalty for failure. Something small but painful enough to matter. A loop looks like this in practice. Every morning, you post your proof in the group by 10 a.m. A designated partner replies, checked. If you miss, you owe $10 to a charity, or you do 50 push-ups on video. The loop converts intention into action. Show progress, get pushback. Tactic 2. Progress boards. Visual systems change behavior. A shared spreadsheet or a public Trello board showing daily checks is brutally effective. Boot camps use this. Teams post daily metrics. Dropouts fall when the board is visible. The board makes slippage obvious. It removes polite excuses. Make it public. Tactic 3. Micro penalties and micro rewards. Heavy penalties create motivation, but they must be fair and enforceable. Examples, miss a day equals donate a fixed amount to a cause you dislike. Painful and motivating. Miss 3 days in a row, do a public 75 burpee video. Humiliating but honest. Keep a 30-day streak, pick a shared reward. Dinner, a book, a small paid event. Make penalties explicit before the group starts. Sign an accountability contract. Everyone knows the costs. That clarity makes the loop real. Show progress, get pushback. Tactic 4. Micro-promises. Small public promises beat vague vows. Today I will post one design concept by 6 p.m. is better than I'll design more. Make it public. Post the promise in the shared space, then post the proof. The two-step pattern, promise, proof, creates a short feedback loop. It tightens discipline. Tactic 5. Structured check-ins. Daily updates are gold. Keep them extremely short. Use a simple template. What I promised yesterday, X. What I delivered today, Y. Link or screenshot. One blocker, Z. Post this before a set time. Reply to 2 other people's posts. The habit of short checks normalizes consistency. People adapt. Norms shift. Alignment builds momentum. Tactic 6. Form micro-cohorts. Smaller groups hold better. A 5-person cohort beats a 500-person audience. In a micro-cohort, roles are clear: leader, timekeeper, critic, supporter. Sessions are frequent: 3 to 5-minute daily updates or 30-minute weekly reviews. Norms are enforced: no excuses, only facts and plans. The cohort reduces friction to accountability. It becomes a habit factory. Tactic 7. Public accountability scripts. Use exact words. Copy-paste these into your group or chat. Promise script. Morning. Today I will, specific action. I commit to posting proof by time. Name. Proof script. End of day. Proof. Link or screenshot. Done. Name. Miss script. If failed. Missed today. Penalty. Penalty. Back tomorrow. Name. The scripts remove style hedging. They force clarity. They strip drama. Use them. Tactic 8. Manage toxic ties. Some people are habit leaks. They normalize excuses and celebrate chaos. You have a choice. Limit contact. Set boundaries. Reduce social debt. Replace time spent with low-energy people with micro-cohorts that push you forward. Alignment builds momentum. Tactic 9. Use public platforms wisely. A public post on social media has power, but it also invites shallow feedback. Use private but public systems first: a closed group, a shared doc, a Slack channel. Once the habit is stable, amplify to bigger audiences. Make it public. Tactic 10. Scale accountability into systems. If you run a course, use automated trackers and require daily snapshots. If you lead a team, make daily stand-ups mandatory and brief. The pattern scales. Systemic alignment beats one-off inspiration. That's the key. Real-world example. A study group for coders met daily at 7 a.m. Each coder posted 1 pull request. Each PR was reviewed by 2 peers within 24 hours. Miss a PR, incur a small penalty. Over 90 days, completion rates soared. Knowledge spread. Momentum built. The group became a culture of shipping. That is alignment in action. Another real-world example. An author committed to posting a daily word count screenshot in a public channel. Followers commented. The public ledger created social friction from missing a day. The author's streak pushed them to finish a manuscript in 4 months. Public proof beat private promises. Make it public. Implement this now. A practical checklist. 1. Choose 1 habit to put under social pressure. 1 habit only. 2. Form a 5-person cohort or pick 1 accountability partner. Name them. 3. Set scripts. Promise, proof, miss. Use exact language. 4. Decide on a penalty and a reward. Put it in writing, sign it. 5. Create a shared tracker and post by a fixed time each day. 6. Run the loop for 30 days. Review, tweak, repeat. 7. Repeat the mantras until they are automatic. You have a choice. Alignment builds momentum. You don't need their permission. Show progress, get pushback. Make it public. Say them before you post. Say them when excuses start. Use them to defend the loop. Community is not soft. Community is leverage. It multiplies your discipline. It exposes avoidance. It rewards steady motion. It makes quitting costly and progress visible. You have built the engine. You have learned how to harness people as force multipliers. Now take that engine and feed it with honest data.
Chapter 9. Feedback loops. Measure, adjust, repeat. Measure to master. Discipline without feedback is blind repetition. You can do the work for years and get the same result. That is wasted effort. Feedback turns repetition into skill. Measure to master.
Short loop, fast learning. Log, learn, lift. You have a choice. You can keep guessing, or you can build a system that tells you the truth. That's the key. This chapter is ruthlessly practical. No inspiration theater, no vague advice. You will get exact metrics, timelines, and a simple playbook. Use it, repeat it, improve. Start with the mindset. Data is not a judge. Data is an advisor. Treat it as information. Celebrate small wins. Catalog failures. Ask questions. Adjust. Measure to master. Rule 1. Pick micro metrics. Not opinions, not feelings. Concrete numbers. 1 or 2 metrics per habit. If you write, words per day. If you sell, conversions per day. If you train, reps or minutes per session. Keep it minimal. Less is easier to act on. Short loop, fast learning. Rule 2. Track daily. Small, consistent logs beat sporadic grand reviews. The daily ledger is your microscope. It shows trends before you feel them. Log a single line daily. Date, metric, 1 short note. That is all. Log, learn, lift. Rule 3. Run weekly scorecards. The weekly scorecard is your tactical checkpoint. Every Sunday, answer 3 questions. What moved the metric this week? What blocked progress? What one tactical change will I test next week? Make the weekly review specific. Pick one variable to change. Small experiments beat big overhauls. Short loop, fast learning. Rule 4. Run 90-day experiments. 90 days is long enough to form habits. 90 days is short enough to maintain urgency. Use 90-day windows to test bigger shifts. Change a training protocol, a writing schedule, or an offer. At the end of 90 days, evaluate the data. Keep what works, drop what doesn't. Measure to master. Example: a coach records an athlete's sprint splits daily. The coach reviews weekly. Adjustments follow. Technique changes. Times improve. The process is simple. Daily micrometric, weekly tweak, 90-day result. That is the loop. Measure to master. Another example: a marketer tracks cost per acquisition each day. They run small weekly tests on copy and targeting. Winners scale. Losers stop. The short loop reduces waste. Money saved is time earned. Short loop, fast learning. You don't need their permission to collect your own data. You don't need a fancy dashboard. A paper notebook works. A simple spreadsheet works. The ledger is a moral mirror. It shows the truth. Data kills stories. That's the key. How to design your feedback system. The exact steps. Choose the habit and the primary metric. 1 habit, 1 metric. Example: writing, 2 words per day. Example: exercise, 2 minutes of quality movement. Define the measurement method. How will you capture the metric each day? Timer, output count, screenshot? Decide now. Build a daily log. 1 line. Date, metric, 1 short note. Keep it under 15 seconds to fill. Log, learn, lift. Schedule a weekly review. 15 minutes. Answer the 3 checklist questions. Pick 1 test for the upcoming week. Short loop, fast learning. Run 90-day windows. At day 90, perform a proper evaluation. Write the results. Make decisions based on evidence. Measure to master. When resistance appears, remember the 2-minute rule. Logging feels like extra work. Shrink it. 2 minutes of logging is enough. Most days, the act of recording becomes the trigger to reflect. 2 minutes becomes 10. You have a choice. Start with 2. That's the key. Interpret data like a craftsman. Don't overreact to noise. Look for trends. The daily ledger is noisy. The weekly scorecard smooths noise. The 90-day review reveals direction. Use the right lens for the right time frame. Short loop, fast learning. Celebrate tiny wins. A 5% improvement in a week is progress. Mark it, reward it. Small praise keeps motion. Catalog failures without drama. Failures are experiments that produced evidence. Use them, learn from them, adjust. Create feedback triggers. Make the system automatic. Examples: end each work session by logging one metric and one micro-insight. Use a habit tracker app that pings you. Post a daily micro-report in your accountability group. Public proof doubles as feedback and pressure. Use comparison carefully. Compare to yesterday. Compare to baseline. Avoid hero worship comparisons that demotivate. Data competes with your past self, not someone elsewhere. Measure to master. Make a short loop experiment template. Copy this. Hypothesis: if I do X, the metric Y will improve by Z%. Time frame: 7 days. Measurement: daily metric log. Decision rule: if average improves by Z%, scale. If not, stop. Short loop, fast learning. Test fast, fail cheap. Examples of cheap tests. Writing: change prompt time from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. for 7 days. Compare words per day. Fitness: swap one run for a high-intensity 20-minute set for 2 weeks. Compare weekly distance and recovery metrics. Marketing: run 2 different subject lines across 2 small audiences for 48 hours. Compare open rates. Don't worship sophistication. Start simple. A paper ledger plus weekly review beats a broken, complex dashboard. Data must inform decisions fast, not impress vanity. Measure to master. Protect the feedback culture. If you are in a team, make reporting short and mandatory. 1 line per day from each member. Public accountability accelerates learning. If you are alone, find a witness. Share weekly results. Use community to sharpen feedback loops. Show the work. Get critique. That's the key. Mindset guardrails. Data is truth, not character judgment. Small wins matter. Celebrate them. Failures are experiments, not indictments. Adjust often, move on, repeat. Your action checklist. Start today. Choose one habit and one metric, one only. Create a 1-line daily log template. Start logging tonight. Schedule your weekly 15-minute scorecard. Commit to it publicly. Plan a 90-day window with an evaluation date. Write it down. Run a 7-day short loop test this week. Use the template. You have built routines. You have created pillars. Now you will learn to improve them. Measure to master. Short loop, fast learning. Log, learn, lift. You have a choice. You can keep repeating without growth, or you can turn repetition into mastery with feedback. That's the key. You measured and adjusted. You learned the language of evidence. Now we convert those daily wins into the ultimate guardrail, a new identity that makes starting over impossible.
Chapter 10. Never start over. Build an identity that sticks. Starting over is exhausting. It drains your confidence. It resets your momentum. It convinces you that something is wrong with you. But here's the truth most people never learn. Lasting change is not about effort. It's not about motivation. It's not even about habits. It's about identity. Discipline becomes permanent when it becomes who you are, not something you try to do. Be the person. You have a choice. You can keep chasing streaks you abandon, or you can build an identity that makes quitting feel foreign. That's the key. Look at people who stay consistent for years. Runners keep running. Writers keep writing. Builders keep building. Not because every day feels good,
but because stopping would violate who they believe they are. They don't say, "I'm trying to run." They say, "I'm a runner." They don't ask for permission. They don't negotiate with moods. They don't start over. They continue. Be the person. Here's the mistake most people make. They try to install discipline on top of an unchanged identity. That never lasts. The old identity eventually pulls you back. The identity always wins. If you still see yourself as someone who struggles with consistency, you will prove it. If you still see yourself as someone who needs motivation, you will wait for it. If you still see yourself as someone who starts strong but fades, you will repeat the cycle. It's not about effort. It's about identity. Be the person. Identity change follows a simple formula: actions to evidence to identity. You act, you collect proof, your self-image updates. That's it. Not affirmations alone, not visualization alone. Evidence. That's why daily discipline matters. Each rep is a vote. Each rep says, "This is who I am now." No reset, only progress. Now you will install identity anchors. These are cues that lock discipline into your self-image. You only need 3: one phrase, one ritual, one visible token. Let's build them. First, the phrase. This is your identity sentence. You say it before action, not after success. It starts with these words: "I am the kind of person who..." Finish the sentence with behavior, not outcomes. Not "I am successful," not "I am disciplined." Instead, "I am the kind of person who trains even when it's inconvenient." "I am the kind of person who shows up daily." "I am the kind of person who finishes what they start." This phrase is not motivation, it's instruction. Say it before the habit. Say it when resistance appears. Say it when excuses get loud. You don't need their permission to claim it. That's the key. Second, the ritual. Identity sticks through repetition tied to time. One small ritual done daily that signals, "This is who I am." It must be short, it must be consistent, it must be undeniable. Examples: a runner lacing shoes at the same time every morning, a writer opening a blank document before checking messages, a business owner reviewing one metric before anything else. The ritual is not the work, it's the doorway. Open, do one. That doorway trains your brain to associate identity with action. No debate, no drama. Be the person. Third, the visible token. Humans respond to symbols. A token makes identity tangible. It could be a bracelet you only wear when you train, a notebook that never leaves your desk, a calendar chain you refuse to break, a daily email subject line you send to yourself or a group. The token answers one question instantly: who am I today? And the answer is action. No reset, only progress. Now let's lock this in with stories, the stories you tell yourself. Your brain believes narratives. Change the narrative, change the behavior. Stop saying, "I fell off, I lost motivation, I'm starting again." Start saying, "I missed a rep, I'm back today. I maintain standards. This is just what I do." Language shapes identity. That's the key. Public testimony accelerates identity change. When you tell other people who you are becoming, the cost of inconsistency rises. That's why communities matter. That's why streaks last longer in public. Say it out loud. "I don't miss my daily practice. I train every weekday. I ship something every day." Make it public, not to brag, to bind. Be the person. Here's a real example. A community member committed to a daily habit, 10 minutes, no more. They posted proof every day. When life hit, they trimmed, not quit. 10 minutes became 5. 5 became 2. Years passed. The habit never stopped. Not because it was easy, but because stopping would violate identity.
They no longer said, I'm trying to stay consistent. They said, I don't break streaks. No reset, only progress. This is how starting over disappears, because you don't start over who you are. You might adjust, you might scale down, you might change tactics, but identity remains. You have a choice. You can keep negotiating with your future, or you can decide who you are now. That's the key. Here's your final identity lock-in protocol. Write your identity sentence, one line, behavior-based. Choose your daily ritual, same time, same trigger. Pick a visible token, something you can't ignore. Go public with one sentence, I am the kind of person who... Protect the streak, trim when needed, never quit. Repeat this daily. Repetition builds belief. Belief builds identity. Identity builds permanence. Be the person. This entire audiobook has been about one thing. Not motivation, not hacks, not intensity. Daily discipline. Showing up when it's boring, measuring when it's uncomfortable, designing when it's inconvenient, continuing when life hits, and now becoming someone who doesn't start over. No reset, only progress. You don't need their permission, you don't need perfect conditions, you don't need another restart. You have a choice. Decide who you are, show up accordingly, and never start over again. This is the point where excuses run out. You have the map, tiny daily actions, decision elimination, shock-proof systems, community fuel, and feedback loops. Now convert knowledge into compulsion. Tonight, write down one non-negotiable 5 to 15-minute habit, the smallest action that if done every day would change everything. Do it at the same time tomorrow. Protect it with pre-commitments. Scale it down when life hits, but never cancel it. In 30 days, measure. In 90 days, you will be a different person. The real test is not reading this book. It's not finishing this hour. It's doing the first thing when you leave this track. Do it daily. Do it now. If you're ready to stop starting over, accept the challenge. Take that one step today. Drop a comment with your habit, like this video, and subscribe to Mind Shift Audiobooks for the next hard truth that will change how you live.